As Pakistan grapples with a crippling power and economic crisis, the Shehbaz Sharif government has introduced a series of measures to cut down on energy costs and decrease dependence on imported oil to steer the country out of trouble. As part of the National Energy Efficiency and Conservation Plan, Pakistan announced that all malls and markets, including restaurants, in the country will close by 8:30 p.m. Pakistan's Defence Minister, Khwaja Asif, said that the measures aim to save the cash-strapped country some $273 million. The minister said wedding halls will also shut by 10 p.m. daily as part of the plan. Asif said the energy conservation plan also included banning the production of energy-inefficient bulbs and fans from February and July respectively. The Defence Ministry said Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif had ordered all government departments to reduce electricity consumption by 30%.
हमारी ताजर हजरात से जो है गुफ्तगू हुई, वो सारे उन्होंने मेहरबानी की। एक बड़ी डेलीगेशन सारे पाकिस्तान से यहाँ पे आई, प्राइम मिनिस्टर सेक्रेटेरिएट में उनसे मुलाकात हुई। तो उनमें बाज़ ने 9 कहा, बाज़ ने 8:30 कहा, बाज़ ने 9:30 कहा। बहरहाल हमने 8 से इसको 8:30 कर दिया। इस पॉलिसी से इस शादी हॉल, रेस्टोरेंट्स और मार्केटों के ये अगर टाइम ऑब्जर्व हों तो 62 अरब रुपए की बचत होगी।
Pakistan Cabinet has also directed the formation of a committee. This committee will look into the work-from-home policy and the process will be completed within 8 to 10 days. Meanwhile, the traders have opposed the order, saying the government cannot make them close the shops when they do most business during 8 to 10 p.m.
हमने तजावीज़ दी थी, हमसे तजावीज़ मांगी गई थी। ख्वाजा आसिफ साहब जिस कमेटी को, जिस टीम को हेड कर रहे थे, उसमें और भी 4-5 मिनिस्टर थे। बात यह है कि जब आपने हमसे तजावीज़ ले ली तो फिर आपने हमसे कहा कि ये मैं वज़ीर आज़म साहब के पास रखूँगा, वफाकी काबीना में ले जाऊँगा, उधर से फिर हम आपके साथ दोबारा मुशावरत करेंगे, फिर जो भी जिस तजवीज़ पे हम अमल करेंगे वो आपके साथ डिस्कस करेंगे। लेकिन उन्होंने ऐसा नहीं किया और आज खुद से ऐलान कर दिया कि ताजरों की मुशावरत से किया है।
Pakistan finds itself strapped for cash as around $1.1 billion expected to come under an International Monetary Fund program has been delayed. Its foreign exchange reserves now barely cover a month of imports, most of which are for energy purchases. Pakistan's total liquid foreign exchange reserves stood at $11.7 billion as of late last month, having fallen 50% in 2022. Now, according to the State Bank of Pakistan, this is the lowest level of reserves since April 2014. Net foreign reserves held by commercial banks now stands at $5.9 billion, meaning the country's total liquid foreign reserves are now $12 billion. Most of Pakistan's electricity is produced using imported fossil fuels, including liquefied natural gas, prices of which have skyrocketed in recent months. Pakistan is recovering from last year's catastrophic floods, which submerged more than a third of the country and caused widespread devastation and major financial losses. And for more on this, we are now being joined by Imtiaz Gul from Islamabad. He is a senior journalist. Imtiaz, welcome to the program. What do you make of these measures? Will they really work or are they counterproductive?
Well, it's a double-edged sword. Obviously, there's a balance of payment crisis in the country. The imports will outweigh the exports and other sources of revenue for the government of Pakistan. And the obvious purpose is to reduce the import of oil and gas in order to save dollars in a situation when the country is facing the dollar crunch. So that is the objective that the government is pursuing. On the other hand, there's also a pushback by a nation, by a traders community that is more, it's like the habit. The government is now trying to change the habit of the Pakistani business community, which basically extends business hours up to midnight. And that obviously, it's not what the traders want. So there have been consultations, and as I think one of your interview partners, one of the traders said that it was just a consultation and there was no consensus on this. So this is likely to create a little bit of friction between the government and the business community. This decision will take a while to implement, and in the process, I think there'll be a lot of hue and cry, just because the business community as well as the people in big cities like Karachi or Lahore are simply used to dine out, shop after 8, 9 o'clock. So this is going to be a bit difficult to implement such a drastic decision. And also, a lot of the government, while claiming to save 62 billion rupees, will also be losing a lot of revenue as a result of closure of the businesses. So there are a lot of perhaps other innovative ways of saving energy. And on the other hand, the government also intends to now install solar energy mechanisms for government buildings. That means you are incurring more expenditure on the government. So this is a quandary sort of thing, a double-edged sword that the government is using right now.
Imtiaz, let me ask you this. The saving grace, so it seems, that's the IMF bailout program, has been delayed constantly. What or who do you think will save Pakistan at this moment?
I think a change in the mindset of the ruling elites could only change Pakistan. The elitist style of governance actually is at the heart of Pakistan's problems, and that basically means living off loans, even if it comes to pleasing the electoral constituency, even if it comes down to the big protocols that all civil military officials, ministers, and top government positions enjoy. So this is a very elitist model, and this is, I think, the sticking point in talks between the IMF and the government. The IMF wants to curtail the expenditure of the government. It wants to cut the deficits that state-owned corporations are running. Like Pakistan State Oil is part of a conglomerate that is responsible for the 52% of the market share, but it still is running off subsidy, whereas oil and gas sector is supposed to be the most lucrative, where salaries, emoluments are 10 to 20 times higher compared to other departments. So the mindset shall have to change. The ruling elites, civil military shall have to give in to the demand by the International Monetary Fund to cut on protocols, cut on unnecessary expenditures. Our cabinet right now, federal cabinet, is almost 100 people, 100 ministers. So these are the kind of things that shall have to change. There is no other way. No loan can save Pakistan other than going for drastic structural reforms that are needed to manage to create a balance between the revenue and the expenditure.
Imtiaz Gul is a senior journalist from Islamabad. I hope he's still with me, because I want him to talk about another issue that is still happening in Pakistan. Imtiaz Gul, stay on. I'll be right back to you. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.